Hello.
Hey guys, it's been a while.
It's been a long time.
We did Christmas. We probably did even
Thanksgiving, probably.
Yeah,
Thanksgiving,
and even
Christmas,
Halloween.
New Year's.
It's been a minute
Probably.
since we've been together.
Yes, it has.
Yeah, but we had a foot zone today.
Yes, we did.
Oh,
It's been months. I
got back in the zen, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, needed it so
Yeah,
bad. Needed
felt
it.
so
It was
good.
So good.
So amazing. It's good to be with you again.
I know. You too. I've missed you.
I have missed
Holy
you
cow.
so much.
I know. I have
We
missed
just
you.
have so much fun together.
Mm-hmm. That's why we do this.
This is why we're doing it. Yeah. We had lots of ideas of what to do today, but one came out pretty strong, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's usually because it's something I need to learn more about. I want to learn more, feel like I want to learn more about.
Yes.
And so I come to the expert and I'm like,
Ah.
explain it to me, and then we'll share it with everyone else.
We're excited for her to implement meditation.
Yeah, I need it.
I think
My brain.
kind of
It's
calm the
craving
brain down a little bit. Yeah, and you'll see when I kind of explain some of the benefits that there have been studies done on. That's what's so
Yes.
cool.
That's what I love.
Yeah,
Like,
scientific studies.
all
I'm a
of-
nerd.
yeah, all of her
I
stuff
love
that
to
she
show this.
teaches us, it's all like backed
There's science in
scientifically.
there.
It's not just, this makes me feel good, so we're
Yeah.
gonna do it. No, there's like scientific things behind it that it's very helpful.
Yeah,
So,
it helps so much.
so yeah, we are going to talk about meditation today because that's
That's
it's
what's
beneficial.
next. Yeah.
That's what's coming up. So.
Yes. And so the first thing kind of we talked about when I was zoning her today that I'll say before I go through this list is that, and I'll do it quickly, is that a lot of times people think meditation means to quiet their brain or stop having thoughts, quit thinking, and it's absolutely not what it is. Like, that's impossible to do.
Yeah.
It'll make you feel really frustrated to try to meditate.
And think of nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the best example is if someone said to you, don't think of a blue horse. Right now, do not think of a blue horse.
Think
What
of
would
it.
you do?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's exactly where it goes.
Yeah. So the coolest thing I've heard explained by many different meditation experts is that the brain is like the ocean. And the waves are your thoughts. And they're always there. And some people have busier waves and busier thoughts. And some people have less thoughts. It's anywhere between 6,000 to 50,000 thoughts a day. So you're in that, and there's some people that I'm sure go over that. But that's a lot of thoughts.
I was going to say, how can they count that? How do they count that?
How do they come up with that? That number changes to a little. It
Yeah.
used to, the last few times I've heard it, it's 6,000 to 50,000. I've heard 5,000 to 50,000. Anyway, it changes. But the point is, we're all so different from each other.
Yeah.
But here's the beautiful part. Within the ocean, you've got the waves, and the deeper you go into the ocean, you've got the calm, the still part of the ocean. STILL, the still part of the ocean. And we have a still part in our brain, all of us.
Yeah.
We don't have to create it.
It's there.
It's just already there.
Yeah.
So that's why they call it transcendental or transcending, is because you're going down. Here are the waves, and we're going to go down, down, down into the still part of our brain. It's already available, and meditation helps you come into that place. So there's lots of different ways to meditate. You can, my favorite way is guided meditation. I have some of my favorite people I listen to. I have some guided meditations on my YouTube video, and I listen to my own. Isn't that crazy? It's all set out. It's all done.
No, I think that's awesome because there's been times that I'm like, I wish I had some recorded that were in my voice.
Yeah, so that's a great idea. Do your own.
Because that's what you hear in your head is your own voice. So why not listen to your own voice?
Yeah, love that. I love that. And so there's also transcendental, and that's one where you you work with a coach for that, because they help you come up with a word, and you pick a word. They help you pick a word that has no meaning to you. So it doesn't make you think of something else.
Okay.
And then you just say it over and over and over, and it's really crazy. I've
That's
done
like,
this.
is that like the one where the monks and they're saying
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
like that.
It's exactly that. It's that type.
That's what
exactly. And
Okay.
you're just that one word you're saying over and over that doesn't have any meaning to you. So it could be a phrase too. After a while, you leave that busy space of thoughts and come down into this. And the more you do it, the quicker you get there.
Yeah.
So I'm so good at meditating now because I've done it so many times that I immediately, even when I'd start to take my breath, honestly, I feel like I live in a meditative state.
That would be awesome.
I have been, and I think that happens when the more you do it, you're just in that quieter place, that stiller space.
Yeah.
So it's wonderful. I really highly recommend it. And I'm excited for you to start doing it. This is the good news, 10 minutes a day. To start with that.
Yeah.
And these studies, I have some studies here, they show that 10 minutes a day for 8 weeks can make these changes. And even if you stop meditating, like you did it for 8 weeks and then you stop, which don't, because it's wonderful. But those changes, some of these changes that makes to your brain and different areas of your body and hormonally will be permanent.
Oh.
So just do an experiment.
Today.
8 weeks.
8 weeks.
Just try it.
Okay.
Experiment. You'll fall in love with it.
I know.
I
wanted to.
Yeah.
I just feel like I get lost trying to do it. I feel my brain.
And you were also thinking you had to stop thinking thoughts.
I was thinking, how do you think nothing for 10 minutes? How do I sit there and think nothing?
And you don't have to do that. That's impossible to do. Yeah. But you go to the calm place in your brain.
Okay. Because then there were some times where I'm like, okay, I'm even like I'm doing a guided one.
And you wander off.
Oh, yeah.
Totally say that in my guided meditations. If you're wandering you start to wander off into your own little world, as soon as you realize it, come back to my voice. Come back to your breath or come back to the music.
Okay.
So I like to play a beautiful music for me. Like, I love it when they have like the, rain sound or ocean sound or waterfall, birds chirping, all those things.
Something natural, nature.
Which makes me lead to another kind of meditation that we don't do so much over here in the Western society, but they do in the Eastern society. When they go out into nature, they don't listen to music and podcasts and
when they're outside.
They go out and they go on a hike or whatever, out in nature with nature. So it's a type of meditation. And there's a really cool name for it, and it's not coming to my mind right now because I haven't thought about it for a long time. But it's so you just smell in the smell of nature, touch the trees, feel the grounding, on the hike or whatever it is, and you'll come down into that peaceful place in your brain. Have you ever noticed that when you go on a hike? If you or out in nature, do you ever feel like, oh, this calms me?
Maybe.
Yeah, notice that.
I don't know. I mean, there are
But
times,
when you do it intentionally, you'll see it.
Yes.
You'll do it.
I was going to say, when I get alone with my thoughts, even out in nature, I don't know. There's something different.
Yes.
I don't know exactly. I haven't been able to
pinpoint it
exactly what it is. But now that you say that, yes, there is something different.
Kind of therapeutic about it.
Yeah. And I don't think people make enough time to be out in nature without electronics, without headphones, without distractions. I mean,
we're so addicted to it. We just that stimulation, but just to break away from that stimulation of the, what's on the phone, and TV and all that stuff, and go out in nature, you will go into a meditative state. So there's different ways to do it. My favorite is guided meditation. It's just my absolute favorite. It's so easy to find.
Aren't they all
beautiful
over
things.
YouTube?
They're all over.
Just find one you like.
Find your favorite. I have 2 different guys I listen to who have English accent, British accents, and it's just so soothing to me. It's just soft, and then he has a really good music behind it. The first thing I'll say is, as a foot zone therapist and a life coach, when someone comes into my office, into my room, and they are shaking because they're in fight or flight, or they're just so, and they sit down and they're just wired and they are definitely in full-fledged fight or flight. The first thing I will do is a meditation with them. Before we start the session, it's part of the session. I will say, we're going to do a meditation. So the first thing we do is breathe, and that's the first part of every meditation. Breath work is incredible. So, and we will do that. Maybe on our next one, we'll do a meditation. I think we have done a guided meditation before. But if we have, great, we'll still do another one. Okay?
I have to go back and look. I don't know.
So amazing. And if you have if in your belief system you believe there's a God, or if there's Jesus, you can actually, in your meditation, go to a place and visit with him, talk to him, hear what he has to say. If you don't, you can go to a place where, and you believe that there's just a higher power or the universe, you can hear what the universe has to say. It's just tapping into inspiration, and it's incredible. It's so great.
Yeah.
So let's do some of the studies. I have them written down here just so I don't forget this list. Slows down aging. This was a study done, and what it does is the gray matter in the brain, just as we age, it shrinks. It just starts to shrink. That's part of the deal. Yeah. Then all the different really fun things about aging start to happen. We lose our memory, we can't, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Even all the way to the really, really difficult things like dementia and Alzheimer's.
Oh, yeah.
So the gray matter not only doesn't shrink, it actually can grow.
If you meditate, it can grow.
Yeah, and they have studies done, and you can look them up online and read about them.
Yeah.
So it really does slow down the aging. It's amazing. It also, talking about the brain, it also changes the structure of the brain, and it's positive structural changes. So basically what they have studied is it affects the amygdala in the brain and the hippocampi. And there are two different structures in the brain that are really important. One, they're all important, but these, for the changes that happen, the hippocampi is the one that is in charge of memory and learning.
Okay.
So think that through. Memory, what we remember, and learning new things. When they found in studies that study of 8 to 10 weeks for 10 minutes, they could learn quicker, retain longer, and remember better. So learning and memory were improved.
Wow.
But here's what's crazy. The hippocampi changed structure. It got a little bigger and thicker.
Oh.
So it actually changes the actual structure of the brain.
Wow.
The other one, the amygdala, which is in charge of like emotions, especially anxiety and worry.
Okay.
So in the amygdala, when you are meditating often, what happens is it changes, it shrinks in a way. What it's shrinking is the parts of the amygdala when we worry and have lots of anxiety, it becomes damaged in our brain.
Okay.
So it shrinks away the damaged parts.
Oh.
So what it does, it's so cool. What it does is it helps us to not worry as much. It helps our stress.
Wow.
And so we feel more peaceful.
Yeah.
That's something I found from. Now, it's cool. I feel those changes, but I didn't know that's what it was doing to my brain until I studied these studies. Yeah.
Wow.
So here's another one. It deactivates your network in your brain. And we've talked about this a lot because she has ADHD. I have a couple of kids that have OCD, busy brains.
Yeah.
500, 600,000 thoughts a day. Yeah.
Yes.
So one of them is called the default mode network. So think about it, just how it sounds, default. It's where it automatically goes.
Yeah.
And it spans across most of your brain activity.
Okay.
Here's what happens here. In the default mode network, that's the one where we have spatial identity. And I'll explain what that means. It's how I relate to you, to that chair. I'm figuring out how my place in this world.
Okay.
And then it has to do with when we remember certain events in our life, specific events. There's a word for that. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But it's these two things together help us with looking at our past and feeling our present and thinking our future. Okay, this is where it gets crazy and cool. If this default mode network gets really busy, they call it wandering, mind wandering. That's what you're talking about all the time.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yep.
What it does is it remembers those events in the past that happened that were wrong, bad, worrisome, and then worries that it's going to happen in the future. See, because it's connecting those things together. And so it creates so much anxiety. When you meditate, it calms the default mode network down. Substantially.
Okay.
So it helps calm it down. Here's what's so cool about it. Is even if you do, so you're meditating regularly and it's calmer. Even when you do go into that mind wandering state, you can regulate it quicker. You can recover from it.
Okay.
You can go, oh, I'm worried about that because that happened when, my son broke his arm when we went to Lagoon. So now I'm scared to go to Lagoon. And it's that laundry.
Is it kind of like, is that somebody who has like a PTSD? Is that kind of where they fall?
It probably comes into this, but they don't talk about PTSD, but sure.
Okay.
That's
just what it sounds like to me.
It sounds exactly like
they
PTSD.
worry about.
Yeah, this happened and now I'm worried.
And now,
yeah.
But I mean, I guess that's any kind, that would give you anxiety,
Yeah.
So I guess it is anxiety.
Yeah, so which makes you think if you do have PTSD, that hardcore stress of something that happened that was traumatic, meditation would help that too. We should look that one up. I'm sure it's in there.
Do some research
on
that one.
Here's another really cool one. It's the perception of pain. So when we have pain, physical or emotional, it's all processed in the brain.
Yeah.
So meditation helps us not feel as much pain. So you can meditate after you've been hurt, but just being one that meditates, you will feel less pain. The process of pain in the brain is in a way deactivated or mellowed out. It's calmed down. It's peaceful. There's all kinds of reasons for that with the hormones that are delivered and chemicals that are delivered, dopamine and oxytocin and all of those things. When we meditate, we're in this calmer state, in that place I'm talking about, helps us regulate that way. And it all kind of comes under, fight or flight and rest and digest.
Can I ask a question about, you said dopamine, because I know we've talked about dopamine within the ADHD brain and looking for those dopamine hits.
Yeah.
So this is just, sorry, I'm just processing.
No, I love it.
So, ADHD brain, and you don't produce as much dopamine, or?
ADHD brain doesn't, but when you meditate, it helps your body to become in a balanced state so that it will start producing dopamine more. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to look for those hits.
Okay. I'm just trying to think, in my head, I'm thinking, is it like a drug where I have so much, but I need more and more and more?
Oh, no.
But it's not that. No. It's that my brain's not producing it, so I'm looking for it. What's going to give me dopamine? And that's where I get stuck on like a game on my phone, and I can't stop. Hold on, I can't stop.
I got to do this.
My lights are almost gone. I can't stop yet.
Sorry, guys. You're bleeding over there. You'll be fine.
Hold on. I'm almost done. Like even watching, if I'm watching a TV show while I'm folding laundry, I'm like, I can't even push pause. Like I have to finish. Hold on, guys. So it's not like a drug where you get addicted and need more and more. It's that I'm not producing enough, and so I need some. How am I getting it? So if I'm doing this, it'll help.
Your body will regulate and give you the dopamine when you need it.
Okay.
When your body requires it for healthy functioning.
Okay.
So for that alone,
sorry, I feel
meditate.
Like I'm yelling. I'm like, whoa,
we get excited, we start yelling. I didn't notice that at all.
Okay. Sorry if it's loud, guys.
Turn it down during that section. No, I didn't notice that. Okay. You got excited. That's fun.
Well, I don't know if it's that or if it's my brain is going, and so then I feel like now I'm not talking. So now I don't know. I don't know. Okay.
Great questions and more fun stuff to research, I think.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
Another thing it helps with is the flow state. Have you heard of flow state before? People
when it
call
comes to my
it
brain?
In the zone. You're in the zone.
Yeah, I've heard of people calling stuff
that. It's absolute concentration. There's different terms for it, but basically what it means is when you're able to focus and do a project from start to finish without distractions. Flow state.
Yeah, that's not.
It's hard for ADHD.
But I've learned there are some people with that ADHD, when they find something they like.
That's right.
They're in that until it's done.
That's exactly
so
right.
So that's like a dopamine, exactly right. I think.
Well, yeah, and they are able to focus so well in this project, they don't even hear one other thing going on.
But that's if, in the ADHD brain, that's if you find something that interests you.
Right.
Now you have tasks though. Like I'm a mother. I have tasks
you need to do.
And I have to do these things.
Yeah.
And if I don't want to do them, any chance I get that I'm like, oh, I need to do that over there. I'm going to go do that. Or, oh, I'm hungry. I'm going to do that. Yeah. So that's where I struggle is staying focused on something that I don't really want to do. And so I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. I think the meditation will help with that because it generally helps. What it helps with is being able to flip into flow state on demand instead of just I have to find something that I love so much that I will stay focused. It can be, I would like to do this project right now, whatever it is. I'd like to can these tomatoes, or whatever it is. It's something you don't love to do so much, but I've got all these tomatoes and I
be done.
So meditation helps us flip into a flow state. And it's that absolute concentration that I was talking about, that you're able to have more control over your brain. So you're like, I am going to do this right now. Because you've learned to go into that deeper recess of the brain, transcendental or transcend down into that place, you're able to go into that state. Like when I said in the beginning, I'm kind of live in a meditative state.
That's what I was going to say. If you can kind of learn to live there where it's
you
like,
can go into that flow state.
I'm going to do this. It doesn't matter what else is going on up here.
Yeah, you can observe it. You observe it. You hear the noise, but you're in this state. So you can get things done quicker without distractions, and you can find projects that you'd really like to get done that you're not that interested in doing. The boss has asked you to, make a list of something or whatever it is, and you can just go, okay, I'm going to do this, and it's very doable.
And I just noticed, because I didn't do it, I thought about it after I did it, and then she did it, and she changed it when you said the things that need to be done, and I was like, no, because nothing needs to be done. I'm choosing to do this. And that's one of the things that kind of has helped me too, because I have to say, no, that doesn't need to be done. I'm choosing to do it because I would like it done. I want it done because I love my family. I want my home clean. So I'm choosing to do the dishes. Not that they need to be done, because they don't need to. I could leave them. I can do them. They can be done in the morning whenever it gets done.
They can get moldy. Then you go buy more dishes. Or you don't have to do them.
So that's been helpful for me too. Instead of like when there's something that I don't feel like doing, instead of saying like, oh, all these things need to be done, saying, okay, what am I choosing to do? What am I choosing to spend my time on, and why? What's the reason behind doing that? So that's also been helpful too.
I love that. The Grace model. We don't use the word need anymore, and when we do, we correct it like I just did.
Because
we are so used to saying need.
Need,
and we hear
want,
so
should.
I just when I say it, then I correct it to, or I choose to, or I want to.
I choose to.
I want to.
Yes.
Or even, I don't want to.
Yeah.
And then I don't do it until I'm ready to say I want to. Or
yes.
choose to.
Or even if it's something like you said, the boss asked me to do this. It still doesn't have to be a need.
Nope.
I choose to do it.
I choose because I want to do this for my boss.
Because I want to do it for my boss, or because I want to keep my job. I'm choosing to do this.
Then you find where your choose is and what you want.
Yes.
It works.
So that was was just a thought that I had that has been
helped you a lot.
That's been helpful to me. It hasn't, the getting completely rid of the word need and should, though that hasn't gone away.
It still comes out of my mouth too, but then I
haven't gotten rid of it, but it is easier to correct it and change it. And I do think it might be kind of good to have it stay that way and not become just I don't say the word need anymore, I say the word choose. But I kind of like having to stop and think about it and actually consciously make the decision, because then I'm like, oh yes, I'm choosing this. This is what I'm choosing to do. And another one I fall back on is my do journal.
The do journal.
I just keeping track of the things I do, because there are so many days where I'm like, I didn't get anything done. And I'm like, no, I did. These are the things that I do. And this is what I do. And this, so that's been helpful.
I love that. Thank you. You just shared some wins, and it's so good to do that.
I know. So I was like, she won't be mad if I do this.
Never.
Even though it's kind of off topic.
Always share your wins. Always. And they are on topic because they fit.
They are. It's just that she says something and it just goes like in my brain, and I'm like,
you remember it. That's so wonderful. And it's so good because when we meet, I always ask her, what are your wins from the last? And sometimes it's hard to think about them. But when you do think of them, do it. I love that you just shared that. This is another really cool one. And you'll see how they all kind of fit, because this one is unexpected happiness. When you're meditating regularly, they found through studies that you will have these happiness bursts or joy come in at unexpected times, like during hard times. During situational things that are really difficult. Someone died, or you're in a crunch period at work. and you'll just go, wow, this is an unexpected time for me to feel this.
Like I'm happy. It's a sad time or it's a stressful time, but I still feel joy inside.
Yeah.
And I think that's awesome.
To me, I would just meditate for that reason alone.
Yeah.
That is enough right there
Mm-hmm.
to just feel more joy
Yeah.
in this journey of life that has some hard stuff.
Yeah. Because we should be joyful.
Yeah.
Men are that they might
have joy.
Like it's not going to be easy.
Yeah.
No, it's not going to be easy.
Yeah.
But there's no need to not have joy in those situations.
Exactly. And I think it's cool for meditation helps you do that because of all these other things we're talking about with the dopamine and all the different things it does with our brain, the gray matter. Of course, it's going to lend us into a more balanced state where men are that they might have joy.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
They're in a joyful state.
Yeah. And I also think that's helpful to the people around you.
Yes.
Who are like, what in the world? You are going through something hard or time. How can you be happy right now? How can you have joy? How can you be grateful for that? How can you, but
yeah,
there's nothing wrong with that. But then that in turn helps them to see, even if there's hard things in life, there's no reason to be bitter and cynical about things and things that are out of your control sometimes.
Exactly. And even if you're feeling sad for the loss of someone.
Oh, for sure.
To still have that all is well feeling.
Just joy.
Inside.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Another one is social gratitude. And the reason why it helps with that is because in meditation, when we meditate, and this is often proven studies, that we learn how to become more present. Remember that network thing I talked about?
Yes.
We're worrying about the past, so then we're
Yes.
what happened in the past we remember, so we're worrying about the future.
Yeah.
It helps us to stay present. We are very present when we meditate.
Yeah.
So you get to this really present state. What happens when you're really present is when you're with someone socially, you are connecting and bonding with them.
Yeah.
You're not thinking about, oh, when I get home I need to do this or that. You're in this moment. Or the worries of, oh, what if I say the wrong thing? You're just in this moment.
Yeah.
And if I say the wrong thing, then I'll say, oh shoot, oops. I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Because you're present. You're not, you're not going from this toggle of the past of, oh, remember when I said that to that one friend, then she hates me. Like you're not doing that. You're just here.
Again. Yeah. And I know for me, even thinking about my day today, there's like so much I have to do this evening, but I'm like, but actually I haven't thought about that. Like I'm feeling in the moment.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking about that because I mean, there's nothing I can do about it right now.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Exactly.
And I'll figure it out when it happens.
Exactly. And when you're meditating regularly, this is more common. It's more common to just be in the present moment. We learn to be present. How often do you hear the gurus say that? The yogi or the meditative gurus, experts. It's all about being present. So that's a side effect from that
meditation.
Which also brings to the next one, which was it helps us bond with compassion, and this is so cool. It helps us have more compassion for others because we are so present. Okay. We're not worrying about our crap and what we got to do. This is what they found. Listen. Yeah, we can actually listen.
Yeah.
And really feel what they're going through and have this compassion. And they found that the studies showed that not only with the person they're being present with, but then if like, for example, you said to me, oh, my friend is going through a divorce right now and she's got 6 kids and blah, blah. The one that's meditating will have compassion for a stranger.
Yeah.
And will want to help and say, you know what? I've been through a divorce. Please give her my number. Can I get her number and reach out?
Yeah.
And so then you have this compassion for strangers. You want to help others. You see someone on the street begging for money and you don't think, oh, they're going to just take my money. You go, I don't know what their story is, but I do have $3.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it to them. I'm not, judging how anyone does anything. I'm just saying it helps us have compassion for the people that we bond with and love and for strangers. But one more thing, it helps us have more compassion for ourselves. They found this in the studies.
That's awesome.
Because when you think about it, when you're starting to give people compassion and empathy and really feel what they're feeling, then you go, oh yeah, I've been through a hard thing too. Oh, I need the same nurturing. And it's just automatic. You start seeing yourself as divine as amazing, as miraculous as you see the other people.
Yeah. Which I don't know how common that is.
Yeah.
Or how common this is, but like for me, that's a hard thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how common that is.
That's very common.
Within myself, and which it's interesting because I'm like, I always thought I was the only one. I see all these people doing amazing things, and I think they just realize, they just know they can do it, or they know it's going to be hard, or they do it, it's hard, and they do it anyway.
Yeah.
And I am one that shuts down before that because I get my self-talk in the past had been so negative.
Look how you said in the past.
Because it's getting better.
Yes. Yep.
I'm still working on it.
Yes.
But it was so negative of you can't, don't even try, you know. And so
where you stop before you even trying.
That's been something that, you know, so that's been hard for me, but that's something that I need. So for me, it's like even just for that benefit, I'm gonna meditate. So
even for that one alone, isn't it amazing?
Yeah.
The last one I'm going to touch upon, which is again on its own, it's worth it, is self-confidence that it gives you.
Yeah.
Here's why. All these reasons, but what happens is you are able to, on demand, come out of fight or flight when you meditate a lot. So when you're on demand, something happens, someone yells at you, someone's mean to you, something happens, someone's mean to your child, where you go into that fight or flight, right?
Or freeze.
Yeah, or freeze. We got to add freeze because you're a freezer.
I'm a freezer.
Yeah, and we always leave that one out, but it is definitely part of fight or flight. Fight, flight, or freeze. What we can do when we meditate a lot, we're in charge. It's almost like we have a switch where we can go, oh, all is well. I am safe. I am present. All things work for my higher good. All of these words that we do in meditations, these mantras we do, come there. And what happens is you can control yourself better in difficult situations. That gives us so much self-confidence.
Yeah.
We feel sane. It helps us feel sane.
Yeah.
And when someone does something and we flip out, we lose our self-confidence.
Yeah.
And we go, God, I'm the worst.
Yeah,
Why did I say that? We regret it. So all of these things, you know, someone texts you something and it's seems really rude and you immediately and then you regret it. If you meditate regularly, you will, that equanimity, you will go, that's compassion, I'm present, all these things we just talked about.
Yeah.
And then we can go, we got triggered. Yes. And we're about to go in fight or flight. And we go, oh no, it's okay. This person must be struggling.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we can answer a text either right then or later. But instead of being reactive, you're responding in a very controlled way. Yes. Even if it takes you 10 minutes or 30. But when you meditate, you learn you can do that. You can come out of fight or flight simply by saying, take a couple of breaths. All is well. I am safe. All things work for my higher good. Even this very situation, only good will come of it. Yeah. And then you're like ready to respond in a loving way and not flip out and then have to apologize later and feel like a loser. Yeah. It helps your self-confidence. Yeah. Yeah. When you meditate, you become more self-confident, which will then help you also love yourself more.
For sure. Yeah.
Aren't those amazing?
Yeah. I mean, those, and they're proven. It's not just
it's scientific.
I noticed that. Yeah. No. Yeah. They've done studies on it.
Yep. And they're all in different places where they've done studies. But when I started researching this and learning it, I was so excited about it because I love to meditate and I have for years. I was telling my husband about it. And when I was telling him these studies, he was like, oh, I want to start meditating. It got him really excited to do it. Yeah. So did this give you
reason to
motivation to do it?
Yes. And I think it's one of those things that I was overthinking it. Yeah. I was overthinking it. I was thinking about meditation and maybe I was thinking like, well, what benefit do I want out of it? And then it was like, well, I don't know. What do I want today? I don't know what today's going to hold. So I don't know what I need to. And so I'm thinking I have to like focus on like, today I need to be in my flow, or today I need more confidence. So I'm going to meditate on that.
No, yeah, you just meditate.
And it's not that. Or I need to just get to a place where my brain can stop. I need to think of nothing. I need, I think it's just
impossible. Yeah.
And then my brain just goes, no, they can't. Hala, hala. And I have not gotten to, I haven't mastered the observing my brain yet.
Yeah.
And so it was getting wild. It just gets wild. And I don't know. I just haven't
done it.
I've struggled to set aside the time, and maybe I didn't really know a lot of the benefits, and so I wasn't making it a priority because I didn't realize that all of this would come. I mean, you've told me meditation is good, and it will help your ADHD brain. It will help these things, but of course my brain is just like, no, well, we just got to keep going. Yeah. So I just keep going.
So what I'm excited about today is let's and you guys too, if you found these to be something you would like to try this meditation, do it as an experiment for 8 weeks, because most of these studies
were
8 weeks. They did them.
Yeah.
So for 8 weeks, just do 10 minutes, and right now, let's just decide when your time is you're going to do it.
Yeah.
Before bed is I love.
Okay, I was going to say I have a question, because I know some people are like, I get up and the first thing I do is meditate. But to me, I feel like, and I don't know, maybe I should do like morning and night, but I feel like, I don't know, my brain's, it's rested, it's not too noisy in the morning.
Okay, so let me just tell you the 3 best times to meditate, but you can do it anytime, is right when you wake up. There's a 15-20 minute window where your subconscious mind and your conscious, there's a window opening. That's where we can make some of our biggest changes and have our most incredible insights. Okay. And so right when you wake up, do a 5 or 10 minute meditation. Click on your phone and do a guided one. Go find one of mine. I'll send you some, and you can just make it easy to click on it. Find people you like. Okay. Or during the day from 2 to 4 in the afternoon, that same window opens up again.
Oh.
And notice at that time is when we're kind of feeling tired.
Yeah.
And in some cultures, they actually do a shutdown.
Well, yeah.
Siesta.
A siesta.
A siesta, yeah. You guys shut everything down, take naps. That is when you're feeling a little bit more relaxed. You want to sleep.
Okay. Yeah.
People grab their coffee or their Coke or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's another really good time for meditation, where that window is open.
Okay.
And then another time is right before bed. Is again, we're going to open up that subconscious. We're starting to fall asleep. That's when that window opens up.
So how conscious do you need to be during these meditations?
I fall asleep a lot when I meditate, especially when I do one before bed. Okay. I fall asleep during the meditation.
Okay.
And so it's beautiful.
And it's fine.
It's so relaxing, yeah. You can't really do it wrong. Just put on a guided meditation, do the breath work, listen to the voice, listen to the music, and in 10 minutes, you're either, because you do it in the morning, you're ready to roll, or you've fallen asleep, and you wake up 2 hours later because it's still going. Yeah, I'll pick 3-hour ones or all night ones.
Okay.
And on some of the guided meditations at night, we'll just plug in guided meditation for sleep. They'll only talk for 10 or 15 minutes.
Oh, and
then it's just the music. It's amazing.
Okay.
But you can experiment with that. But it sounds like morning feels kind of, your brain is less busy, because at night our brain reviews what happened during the day automatically.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice to calm it down.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. So I don't know, maybe like you said, like I say, like it's not gonna hurt to do multiple.
Oh my gosh, no.
So
you can do a morning, afternoon, night meditation. In fact, the next thing we're going to talk about is going to be taking advantage of these 3 windows.
The 3 of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So pick so that it's not overwhelming to you, because this is another thing they've proven is if you make a goal to do this that is very doable, and then you do it.
Yeah.
That's going to help your self-confidence too.
Yeah.
So don't make a goal that's so hard. I'm going to do morning, afternoon, and night. Just make one. And if you add into it, fabulous.
Yeah.
So for right now, should we shoot for morning?
Probably.
Just wake up.
Just wake up and turn it on.
Wake up and turn it on before you do
have
anything
it set,
else.
like the night before, have it hold up.
Yeah. Just wake up and turn it on and do it.
Even if I'm just laying there.
Yeah.
Trying to still.
And then have as a backup plan, if you wake up, something happened, you missed your alarm or whatever, and you choose not to that morning, then from 2 to 4, find a time.
Have a window.
And go, oh, yeah, it's 3 and I don't have a client right now.
Mm-hmm.
And just go in your room and be still.
Yeah.
That's all it is. You know, if you follow God in scriptures, be still and know I am God. The be still is to me what meditation is.
Yeah.
Just be still for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So, and then if you miss that one, then do the night one. And just at one time during the day, do a 10-minute meditation.
Yeah.
It goes by fast.
Yeah.
You'll find that
10
you
minutes.
love it so much that you might extend it to 20 or 30.
Mm-hmm.
Go Google Seinfeld. Yeah. Jerry Seinfeld, when he was doing his show, if you guys watched it, it was so funny. He's so funny. This is it. He did
wasn't he producer?
Producer, writer,
actor.
actor. He was the lead in it.
The lead.
And it was a lot for the brain, all that stuff. And he did transcendental meditation on his lunch break when everyone else was taking their break to eat.
Isn't it like 45 minutes every
yeah,
day?
I think his was,
either
it might have been 45, yeah.
I don't remember.
So look it up, read it, or watch it, and it's incredible. He actually ended up doing 2 a day on the really crunch periods.
Oh.
Right when he woke up
Yeah.
and then lunch.
But he says
it's how he did it. It's how he could do it. He said he
could've.
absolutely kept his mind clear. All these things we just talked about, gray matter, amygdala, you know, all the stuff we just talked about made it possible for him to wear all those hats.
Do all of that.
And have so much joy while he was doing it.
Yeah.
And not feel overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And stay in that meditative state all the time.
Yeah.
And be able to focus and write the script and all the things we just talked about.
Yeah.
So Google that and watch how he talks about it.
Yeah, because
it works.
That's
it's real.
Yeah, that's something. I mean, that's something I feel like I hear a lot. Is just I'm busy. I'm just running, just going.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what better thing than to help us have joy in that busy, stressful life that we live?
Exactly. Be still and know that I am God.
Yeah.
We've done a longer session today on this podcast, but
it was needed.
And we always call this the podcast because it is a podcast, but we also videotape it.
Yes.
For YouTube channels. But
I'm still learning how to get it.
We're still figuring all that out.
The podcast
but we didn't want to keep putting it off, so we're just doing it.
We're just doing it. Yep.
But thanks for joining. I hope this has helped.
Yes. Thanks. Let's see.
Oh yeah.
We haven't done our thing, right?
Okay, we better do it. Yeah.
It's what happens in here,
in here,
and in here.
Give me 5.
We did it.
Thanks, you guys. Love you guys.
Bye. Love
See you next time. Mwah.